This video coincides with Chapter 5 of the book. Take a quick look at the main camera. You can see when we select it in Scene View, we have a preview of it in the bottom right hand corner of that interface. And typically, the main camera is going to be subordinated to your player character. So as your character is walking around, it's as if the camera were above and slightly behind that character so you can see what the character sees. Well, we don't have a character in our game yet, so it's still important to look at this camera. So if we were to put this in game mode, we would see the same thing we see here in preview. Of course, no movement, and that's the angle that we see. You can change that, of course. As I zoom out, you can see the frustum for the camera, and this is all editable. And as we change the field of view, you can see the camera preview change as well. Another thing I want to point out is looking at the preview, or even in game mode, you can see the skyline. You can see what the ground looks like, and you can see what the sky looks like. And that's the default Skybox that comes with Unity and is the default for each camera. So I'm going to click off the main camera, and now we're going to focus on building a custom Skybox. So in our material folder, we're going to right click and say create material, and we'll call it Skybox. And now we'll look in the inspector view, and you can see what our options are. What we want is this first option, which is the shader. We're going to click that. Instead of standard, we're going to select Skybox, and we're going to pick 6-sided. And now you can see that we have places for 6 different images. And in our Skybox folder, we have those 6 images. So we're just going to drag them. They've been named appropriately, so the back one goes in there. Down goes there. And as I'm doing this, you can see the preview in the bottom of the inspector interface changing. So there it is. So now if we were to put this in game mode, I'm just going to click the tab. You can see that there was no change. That we want to use our Skybox and not the default one. So we'll select Window, and then Lighting, and then Settings. And here where it says Skybox Material, using default. We'll click that button and we'll pick our custom Skybox right there. And we can close this interface, and now when we look at the game tab, you can see that our sky is much more dynamic, and it's what we selected. Skybox is type of lighting. We can see the sky. I'm just panning now so you can see what it looks like. The horizon is quite nice. Looks very realistic. There are other types of lighting as well. We'll go to Game Object. Here we see light. We have directional light. We'll add one of these. Each point light, spotlight, and an area light. And you can also see that there are probes as well. We'll start with a directional light. I'll double click it so we can see what it looks like. And you can see the rays. It provides lighting in a direction, right? And you can use the transforms to change the direction of light however you want it. So directional lights are similar to the sun. You can see in the hierarchy view, we start with one by default. Example light is a point light. Double click that one. And they emit light in all directions. So you can think of this as like a fireball or a light bulb. That's what you would use that for. A spotlight, you can see the shape that the light is provided in, and this is commonly used for things like flashlights or headlights. And then area lighting is another one. You can use this as, say you want a light coming from a television or something like that. You could use it for that matter. And for all of these lights, you can use transform tools. And then, of course, see in the game world how that works. And that is all for this video.